Hello everyone, I am Akhil Raj, Assistant Professor, Department of Medical Imaging Technology, Yenepoya School of Allied Health Sciences, Yenepoya deemed to be University. So today I will be discussing on the topic Intensifying screen. So moving to the specific learning objective, at the end of the session, the audience will be able to define the intensifying screen and its working and list out the type of intensifying screen and their applications and explain construction of intensifying screen and describe care and maintenance of the intensifying screen. So what is intensifying screen? So intensifying screen is a thin sheath that kept inside the cassette, front of the cassette as well as the back of the cassette, and the main function of the intensifying screen is it will convert the X-ray energy into light. So whenever the X-ray photons are produced from the X-ray tube, that is passes through the patient body part and penetrate through the patient body, and it will absorbed by the or stored in the cassette, and inside the cassette there is intensifying screen. So it will fed into the intensifying screen. Inside the intensifying screen there is phosphor layer. It is an active layer inside the intensifying screen. So this phosphor layer have tiny fluorescent crystal. So whenever the fluorescent crystal contact with the X-ray photon, it will convert it into an light. That's a basic working principle inside the intensifying screen. Moving to luminescence. So what is luminescence in the sense? It is emission of light when a substance bombarded by radiation. So luminescence is in two types, fluorescence as well as phosphorescence. So fluorescence means light emission that lasts only long as the presence of the radiation, and phosphorescence means there is little afterglow. That means light will be continuous to be emitted for some time even after the radiation exposure is ended. Moving to screen construction. So inside the intensifying screen, basically there is four layers are present. First one is base, second one is substratum, third one is phosphor layer or fluorescent layer, and fourth one is supercoat. So base means the most of the area is covered by base inside an intensifying screen. So base is made up of paper, cardboard, or more usually clear plastic such as polyester. So base will be provide a strong, smooth but flexible support for the fluorescent layer, as well as base is moisture resistant and chemically inert as well as uniformly radioapparent. And the thickness of the base is 0.18 mm, and second layer is substratum. So substratum is a bonding layer between base and the phosphor layer. It will connect the or it will place in between the base and phosphor layer. And substratum is classified into two types. First one is reflective layer of substratum and second one is absorptive layer of substratum. So what is reflective layer of substratum? So reflect, the name in the sense it will reflect the light. That means reflective layer is to maximize the effect of screen by reflecting the light, and it will keep the maximum amount of light inside the fluorescent layer and converted into an image, or that light should be fed into the film. Then second is absorptive layer of substratum. So absorptive layer, in the name in the sense it will absorb the maximum amount of light and keep the maximum light in the phosphor layer. So light traveling backwards toward the screen base is prevented by from the reflected by the phosphor and it is absorbed. That's the function of the absorptive layer of substratum. And compared to absorptive layer and reflective layer of substratum is faster compared to the absorptive layer. So our third layer is phosphor layer. So inside the phosphor layer there is tiny fluorescent crystals are placed. So the phosphor layer is an active layer inside the intensifying screen. Whenever the X-ray photons are fed into the phosphor layer, the fluorescent crystals are bombarded by the X-ray photon and it will convert it as a light. So it is the phosphor layer suspended in a transparent binder. The binder in a high resolution intensifying screen contain carbon granules or colored pigment. So it is basically for measure the intensity of light and color of the emitted light. So next one is supercoat. So supercoat is the fourth and last layer inside the intensifying screen. So the main function of supercoat is protection. It will protect the intensifying screen from damages, and the supercoat is made up of acetate, and the main another function of the supercoat is it will resist the surface abrasion as well as it have anti-static qualities, and also supercoat will be minimize the edge wear and tear as well as it will provide a non-curl backing function. And next is phosphors. So phosphors are the material which convert invisible radiation into luminous radiation known as phosphor. That means these are the material that convert the invisible X-ray photon into a light. And for an ideal phosphor have two important qualities. First one is they are very efficient at X-ray absorption. Second one is fluorescent strongly with little afterglow. So moving to rare earth phosphor. So rare earth phosphor is also a type of phosphor, but they are in the periodic table elements with atomic number between 57, that is lanthanum, and 71 lutetium. Though between the lanthanum and lutetium, some elements are situated in the periodic table. These elements are known as rare earth phosphor. So these rare earth phosphor have two important physical attributes. First one is absorption efficiency or quantum detection efficiency. Second one is conversion efficiency. So first one is quantum detection efficiency. So quantum detection efficiency means more efficient at absorbing incidental radiation than conventional screening of calcium tungstate. So quantum detection efficiency depends upon the type of phosphor as well as the thickness and coating weight of the phosphor. So in this table there is a comparison of X-ray absorption rate of photon energy level between calcium tungstate and gadolinium oxysulfide activated with the terbium. So calcium tungstate is a conventional phosphor and gadolinium oxysulfide is a rare earth phosphor. So at 40 kilo electron volt, so kilo electron volt is a unit that usually used to measure the gamma rays or X-rays. So at 40 kilo electron volt, calcium tungstate will be 33% absorb the photon energy, and at the gadolinium oxysulfide, that means rare earth phosphor absorb 37%. In 60 kilo electron volt, it is 13% in conventional phosphor, but in rare earth phosphor it is 51%. At 80 kilo electron volt also, conventional phosphor absorb 27% and rare earth phosphor absorb 28%. So that means compared to conventional phosphor, the rare earth phosphor absorb more percentage of photon energy. It will absorb more X-ray photon compared to conventional phosphor. That means it will provide a higher amount of light inside the phosphor layer inside the intensifying screen, that will be responsible for a better image quality. So moving to second attribute, that is conversion efficiency. Conversion efficiency means it will convert the efficiency to convert the X-ray photon into light compared to the conventional phosphor. So radiographic exposure, much more light is produced means with the help of the rare earth phosphor, it will result a better side of the image quality. So next one is use of activator. So rare earth phosphor we can't use itself inside an intensifying screen. So whenever we are using an rare earth phosphor, it is always with a combination of activator. So phosphor activator combination will be determines the intensity of the light as well as the color of light emitted. Next is the type of activator and their rare earth phosphor with the emission of the light. So with the gadolinium oxysulfide, we are using a terbium as an activator. It will provide a green color of light. And lanthanum oxysulfide, we also same activator like terbium only, provide a green color light. And yttrium oxysulfide with the terbium, same activator, but it provide a blue colored light. And yttrium tantalate, it will use with an activator of niobium, it will provide same blue color. And last one is lanthanum oxybromide, it will activated with a thallium and it provide a blue color light. So moving to type of screen and their applications. So basically there are three type of screen. First one is high resolution screen. So we are using high resolution screen for detailed radiograph. So high resolution screen is manufactured by making substratum layer absorptive. So there are two type of substratum, reflective substratum as well as absorptive substratum. So absorptive substratum provide a detailed image. So it will absorb the maximum amount of light in the phosphor layer. That's why it will provide a detailed radiograph. But the main disadvantage of absorptive layer of substratum is it will take more time compared to reflective layer of substratum. And also the high resolution screen is used when the fine detail is required as well as when the radiation dose is less important and the body part being radiographed does not need a high tube loading. We are moving to second type of screen, that is regular intensifying screen. A regular intensifying screen have a medium speed screen which aims to give the best adequate speed and sharpness. So it have a well balanced speed and sharpness, and we are most commonly used for general radiography. So moving to last type of screen, that is fast intensifying screen. So the name in the sense fast, so it will provide a fast image processing because of we are using a reflective layer of substratum inside the fast intensifying screen, and it will produce a greater film blackening as well as used for radiographic examination where the risk of unsharpness from the movement is high. So such an incident we are using a faster intensifying screen, and the table indicated that the type of screen and their speed. So if we are using a high resolution screen, it will provide a slow speed, and for regular intensifying screen provide a medium speed, and the faster intensifying screen provide a higher speed. So next we are moving to single screen radiography. So single screen radiography used in conjunction with a single coated emulsion film. So it is used for mammography, and the intensifying screen is placed at the back side of the cassette only. So for the normal intensifying screen there is two intensifying screen that is placed in the back side of the cassette as well as the front side of the cassette. But in single screen radiography we are placed the intensifying screen at the back of the cassette. So light being produced in the phosphor that is nearest to the film, and there will be a less light divergence as well as less irradiation to the patient, and the single screen radiography provide a sharper image and a better high side of the image quality. So moving to factors of screen construction and that affect their speed and sharpness. First one is phosphor grain size, second one is thickness of the intensifying screen, and third one is nature of the substratum, either it is absorptive layer or as well as the reflective layer, and last one is presence or absence of the carbon granules or pigment dye in the binder. So in that diagram it is shows like there is a different type of the thickness of the intensifying screen, and the first one is the higher side of the thickness, so it will provide a better image quality compared to a less thickness, that the C part is less in the thickness. So moving to how the factors affect the speed and sharpness. So the crystal size and thickness of the phosphor layer as well as the reflective layer of substratum should be increase the speed of the intensifying screen, but they will be reduce the sharpness, and absorptive layer and carbon granules decrease the speed but they will be increase the sharpness. And next is crossover effect. So crossover effect should be negligible effect in the speed but it will decrease the sharpness, and corner detection efficiency or absorption efficiency and conversion efficiency will be increase the speed but they have no effect on the sharpness. So moving to crossover effect. So crossover effect means it is an image degradation that caused by light produced in one intensifying screen that passes through the film base and the image produced in the opposite side of the emulsion layer. So in the first image we can see that this is a normal intensifying screen. So that light is produced in the one intensifying screen and it will travel through the film base and the image is produced in the opposite side of the emulsion only. So to preventing the crossover effect, manufacture of the intensifying screen adding absorptive layer in their substratum. So the second image is the intensifying screen with an absorptive layer of substratum. So in that the absorpting layer should be absorb the light and it will keep the light in the appropriate phosphor layer only, and image should be produced there. It will prevent the image production in the opposite layer of the emulsion layer of the film. So moving to care and maintenance of the intensifying screen. So first one is do not open the cassette in the vicinity of chemical or other liquids, and second one is do not leave the cassette open on the bench exposed to contamination, and third one is do not store the cassette near the source of heat such as radiators. So moving to screen cleaning. So take a moistened cotton wool with a solution, antiseptic solution, and gently wipe the surface of the screen. After that, wipe the screen free from a soap as well as clean with a fresh cotton wool and allow it to dry the surface of the intensifying screen and stand the cassette on the edge partially open and allow it to dry completely, and after that record the date of cleaning on the back side of the cassette. So checking a screen artifact. A piece of black paper placed between the front of the screen and the film, and after that we will expose the film. So after the exposure, again we will take the black paper and place between back of the intensifying screen and the film and expose the film and compare the both radiograph, and we will identify whether there is any screen artifact present or not. Advantages of using intensifying screen. So it will, when we are using an intensifying screen, it will reduce the exposure factor as well as permit the use of very short exposure times, and it will allow for a higher contrast image compared to a non-screen imaging. So moving to summarize the whole topic. So intensifying screen are convert the X-ray energy into light, and the most commonly used screen have a rare earth phosphor. So rare earth phosphor have two important physical attributes, that is conversion efficiency and absorption efficiency, and emission of light from a substance bombarded by radiation is termed as luminescence. So luminescence is two types, phosphorescence and fluorescence, and single screen radiography is used with a single coated emulsion film with a single intensifying screen at the back of the cassette, and phosphor layer is an active layer inside an intensifying screen. So in phosphor layer have tiny fluorescent crystal. Whenever the phosphor X-ray photons are bombarded by fluorescent crystal, it will converted as a light. So these are my reference. Thank you.